The Glee Give a Note Foundation has an awesome grant opportunity for all the schools within the nation.
A couple of months ago, we told you about Shady Hill Elementary's efforts to earn a Music in Our Schools grant. The effort was successful as the school was chosen as one of just 6 nationwide, receiving not only the grant, but also a free private concert.
Music in our schools means a lot to Shady Hill. The main reason is my music teacher's getting $2,500 for her music program, where she can go out and buy drums and instruments for our students, which is going to benefit all of our students. The other thing is that my Shady Hill community and my students and parents are getting a free concert from a Radio Disney performer, Carson Luters. I had to Google him. I didn't know who he was, but when I made the announcement at the school, there was a bunch of screaming and yelling, so I knew right then they knew who he was.
Very excited.
Why?
Because Carson is here.
Some students even got to share the stage with him, serving as the opening act to the show.
It's unbelievable. I've heard many of them say that they can't even believe it just happened. They just were so thrilled to do that. And I think truly it'll be the highlight of their lives.
We're also getting an Artie Award, which is Radio Disney's version of the Oscars or the Grammys. So we'll be able to get that and display that in our front office. So those are the 3 things that are making this night just super special.
I would say their highlight was probably this concert, although they are pretty excited about getting new instruments in our room as well.
Amazing because we get to buy new instruments and stuff for our school, and that we get to see Carson.
Thank you so much.
Just a reminder for you, Wednesday, April 6th is an early release day, meaning students come home 2 hours early. Teacher contracts are for 196 days. Students must be in class 180 days. Early release days allow the district to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Per state law, students have to be in school a certain amount of hours to count towards a school day. And the release of 2 hours at the end of the day to allow for teachers to gather with paraprofessionals too and receive professional development does count for both a teacher day and a student day.
Remember, students come home 2 hours early, April 6th. While all schools release 2 hours early some days, some schools stay an hour late every day.
The old saying goes that there aren't enough hours in the day. But at 5 of our Marion County schools, an extra hour has been added to the school day in hopes that that will be enough to get them off the bottom.
The state of Florida has identified what they call the low 300 schools. Those schools are identified based on their results of the reading test from the state standardized tests. So 2 years ago, we had 5 schools that were fit into that category, and we were told that we needed to add 1 hour to the instructional day. So that's what we did. So we went through a whole year last year with 1 hour extended. We tested again, but the state did not get us the test results back in time at the end of the school year. So the direction from the state was keep those same bottom 300 schools as bottom 300 schools. So therefore, our 5 schools, despite any gains that they made, they still had to have an extra hour in their school day for this year. So that extra hour is spent totally on remediation for the reading skills of their students. So they identify which students need intensive reading skills, and those students get that extra, basically, hour of instruction in reading. So the question is, does that help or does it hinder? Well, the schools have improved in their reading scores, but we don't know whether that's because of the extra hour or not, because the consequence of that is the students are extremely tired because they have an extra hour in their day, and the teachers are extremely tired because they're working an hour behind everyone else. So at those extended learning schools, we have seen a great turnover of teachers because despite the fact they're getting paid for an extra hour, they don't want to work that extra hour in the day. So our principals at those schools are then faced this year with replacing those teachers and having to retrain them, have them form the relationships with the kids again. So although some of our scores have improved, some of the discipline data actually looks worse, and some of the attendance data looks worse, because of that. So, the question about whether it's working or not working, it's a really hard question to answer.
When we think of an art festival, we tend to think of fine art. But there's another fine art that parents, grandparents, and guardians treasure more than the masters of art. Yes, we're talking about handmade, colorful works of art made by the hands of the kindergarten through 5th graders here at Madison Street Elementary School.
Giovanni. So 5th grade, they're working on some clay pencil holders. So they actually built these themselves. They painted them and then did some clear coating on the top of them.
The students not only created clay pencil holders, all grade levels got involved with several different types of grand art.
Projects they're doing are 3D projects, so 5th grade is doing clay, 4th grade is doing a sculpture, so they're working on human figure sculptures. Other classes are working on abstract sculptures using different materials such as tights and things like that to give the form to it. We have a lot of clay projects as well for the younger students. They're doing pinch pots for one of the grades, and then also clay medallions and beads as well.
Certain items made for the sale will be used as displays to bring life to the auction.
And today in class what they were doing was working on a canvas that will be for each teacher. You're all going to draw and design your own flower. So you may design this however you'd like. You can use different colors. You can add different kind of designs inside of your flower. But what we are going to do with this flower is put it onto a canvas. All of your flowers will go on. Try your best to get in between all those white spaces and try to cut those little bits out. Just try your very best to do that. Yep.
Ready to cut it out.
Go for it.
The Madison Street Art Auction will be held in their cafeteria on Friday, April 8th. From 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, there will be a silent auction as well as a live auction.
The 15th Annual Student Media Festival is Friday, April 8th. Here is one of the videos entered into this year's competition.
8,000 pounds of steel, 500 horsepower. Add a teen and a fifth of bad judgment, it becomes a weapon. Locked, loaded, lethal. Car crashes are a leading cause of death for teens, and about a quarter of those crashes involve underage drinking. What if you survive and others don't? It's called homicide. If you live with the guilt, you'll have plenty of time to think about it. It's time to disarm this weapon.
Because the Student Media Festival is a month earlier this year, it coincides with the Silver Springs International Film Festival, and several of the winners announced Friday night at 1 will screen Saturday afternoon as part of the other.
At first we went, wait, what? It's in the middle of the festival? And then we went, wait a minute, no, that's great. Once we thought it through, we thought, oh my God, this is fantastic. Saturdays for us have always been where we place what's called the Cinemagic series, which is family-friendly, kid-friendly films. All of a sudden that helped to flesh that out, and we have finally achieved our goal this third year that all of Saturday is kid-friendly. So if the students want to come, they can come make a day of it with their family. So there are other films before that, there are films afterwards. We have Joe Pantoliano who will be over on the square, who's Fratelli in The Goonies. And so Joe is here with us this year. He's going to be chatting with everybody about what it was like to make Goonies. And then you can come here and see Goonies on the big screen after that. And there are all kind of events going on the square. All of the events on that Saturday are free to the public. All of them. The only thing you pay for if you're not an award winner from Marion County or a media arts teacher, you would pay for any of the screenings you see in the theater, but all the events are free. It's a volunteer organization. It's amazing how much it's grown. We've gone from a 3-day event the first year to a full week event this year. There is so much going on. We have the seminars, incredible seminars. There's 2 every day. In the mornings you can meet the filmmakers that are present for that day. In the afternoons we deal with some different issues and we meet other filmmakers and VIPs and so on and so forth. So get out here and enjoy this. It's your festival. This is what Ocala built, and I want everybody to take ownership and feel the sense of pride of what's been accomplished.